Hello everyone, this is GodzillaWolf1 and I'm back with a toy review! Yeah, been a while since I've done one of these, hasn't it? Yeah, it's December, so I decided why not do some toy reviews during the month when Christmas is coming up to entice people to buy new toys. Or just give people ideas, because I am not working for any sponsor, so that made no sense whatsoever. But today's review will be on the Dino Charge Megazord! And this is the main Megazord for the new Power Rangers Dino Charge series, which is awesome! Seriously, if you stopped watching Power Rangers due to Power Rangers Samurai or Power Rangers Megaforce, not that I blame you, Dino Charge is a lot better. You can actually tell that effort went into it. And that also applies to the toys, I find. Well, this is a new mold, nothing to do with the Japanese version, which I believe was Kiryujin, for, Kiryuger. It's pretty good and does a good job replicating the Japanese version. It's not perfect, mind you, it's Bandai of America, but it's still really cool. And, well, let's take a look at it. Now, the centerpiece is, of course, Gabutira / the Tyrannosaur, or Rexy, I believe he was called once or twice. And really nice. I love how the front of him looks. Also, they shrunk down his tail from the size of a balloon to a manageable size. Like, I know a lot of people did kind of complain about the tail in the Japanese version. Though, sadly, no paint on the legs. The molding is there, and it's really nice molding. Molding on the legs, no paint. Yeah, the lower half, they cheaped out, but the molding is there, so if you do want to do some painting work, you can. And also, there's a Zord Builder port. And, black bottom the feet, big silver toes, but nice molding. Like, I don't know if you can see it in my lighting, but that is really good molding on there. And, of course, the head, nice big green eye, nice silver teeth, mouth opens and closes. Posability is, well, the little T-Rex arms can move up and down, that's mainly for transformation. Leg, and this is weird. Okay, I'll pop the leg off and show you. If you can tell, there are these two little dots inside the leg, okay? Well, there are also two little posts here. And what those posts mean is the leg cannot move any far forward than that. You can move back all you want, but not forward. I don't know why. Like, this is not a loose enough joint that I'd worry about that, but it's annoying. And you can cheat it by simply popping this off and plugging it back in up here, and that lets you move forward. Not very stable, mind you, but you can do it. So yeah, now the cool part is, due to the transformation purposes, the head does rotate. So yeah, pretty nice so far, until you look at the back. Yeah, they really cheaped out on the paint on the back, but, well, Bandai of America. That's so disappointing, though. He looks fantastic from this side, but then you turn him around and, well, But what you gonna do? Now, to get to the next feature of him, we need to look at this. His Dino Charger, or Beast Batter, I believe they were called in Japan. A little T-Rex symbol, clear plastic, which I don't think is accurate, actually. The big one there, dinosaur-shaped emblem. And also there's a barcode right there for the app. But if you press this button, it goes first to half charge, then to full charge, and back again. So if you hit this really fast, you can get kind of a little animation effect. But let's get him fully charged. Open his mouth up and slide the battery in, bring it down, and his head frills pop up. Very small, but works effectively. Now here comes the problem. You only get one battery. Yeah, that's going to be annoying. So yeah, for now we're just going to take the battery back out and move on to the next one, which, I don't know if this is accurate, but we're going to go with this Stegosaurus, who, once again, has some nice paint. I do know that Bandai does silver really well. Like, I do like their silver. The gold, it's more of a yellow than a gold. But yeah, once more, really good detail. Like, I'll give Bandai of America one thing. This doesn't have as much paint as I'd like, but it does have fantastic detailing. So if you do want to paint some of this that's painted in the show but not painted here, you're not going to have much problem with all the details there. Articulation, head, mouth can open and close, but that's mainly for gimmick purposes. And legs can move forward and back. Not a ton of posability, but what you gonna do? Now, if you want to, you can open the mouth. And here's where we come with a bit of a gripe about this toy. Now, if I put the battery in and push it in all the way, he's supposed to pop up a spine here. He didn't. Now, normally he does, but for some reason, this particular one that I have seems to want to cause me loads of grief. So, let's pop this back in. There's this little slider on the bottom. So, pop this off, then pop this all the way forward. And let's see if that fixes the problem. I've had that problem since the day I got this thing, but if I do it right now, the spine will pop up. You got this nice blade here, which sadly is unpainted. Yeah, Bandai, if there's one part in this toy you should have painted, it's the pentablade. I think that's what it was called in Japan, pentablade. And unfortunately, his mouth cannot close with the battery in there. I have absolutely no idea why. That's really my only gripe, though, because it's nice. The blade pops up like it's supposed to if you have this in the right orientation. Most of them don't have that problem. I think that's just mine. But regardless, he does have a blade. Looks pretty cool. And for some reason, my camera, seems to be acting a little funky. But moving on, let's look at the Triceratops, or Dracera. I believe that was Dagochi in Japan. But Dracera, who's the Triceratops, beautiful silver paint on the tail. I really do like how her tail looks. And for the first time, I believe ever in America, we got an actual pink Zord. Not white with pink, but actual pink. Way to go, Bandai of America. Even if the fans had to make an uproar so they didn't make this thing lavender. Yeah, that was a thing. But yeah, they fixed it in the end, so no big problem. I know I'm griping a little bit, but I really do love this thing. But articulation, same as the Stegosaurus. Arms and legs move back and forth, swivel, and mouth opens a little bit. Now, in Japan, these horns would flip back and be right here. Here, they're just molded in back there. Yeah, kind of disappointing, but simplified for American audiences. So let's put the battery in, and when we do, if I can line it up properly for some reason, the tail will pop out into more of a drill shape. So, I think that this carried over really nicely. It looks like the Japanese version, has the nice body detailing. I do believe she and the Stegosaurus are the same base mold, but I really don't see much of a problem with that because they were in Japan too, so that's less a complaint with Bandai of America and more of a complaint with the design, because I'm pretty sure in Japan they were the same mold too, or at least very, very similar molds. So, yeah, let's try to put you back in there. And, yeah, that's the base Zords. They're not bad. And as far as Zords go, the T-Rex is really big, which is a plus. So, yeah, let's actually get to transformation. Now, in the Japanese version, there'd be this big dramatic sequence, and there's sound effects on the Japanese version, not so much on the American. So, let's actually pop the tail off, which ironically is probably the most hard part of the thing because it's actually really difficult. And we open it up. Now, unlike the Japanese version, the tail is not where you store the helmet for the robot mode. Instead, you want to, and I should show this now, there are these indents in here, right here. I don't know if it's picking up on camera. But it's right there. There are nubs right here on this portion of the robot. You need to be very careful to make sure that... Yeah, that can happen. Be careful about that. The legs can fly off. But that's not what I wanted you to be careful about. During transformation, you want to make sure these nubs go into those holes. If you do not, this will be incredibly, incredibly loose to the point it can't even support the robot. So be very careful about that during transformation. But then you open the legs and out pops the helmet. So that's where they stored it in the American version. I both like that and don't like that. I'll get into why if I ever get the Pterodactyl Zord. Now let's go to transforming these guys, pop off the Stegosaurus's back and make the blade weapon. And then you just want to fold up the legs like so. Simple enough. And open the mouth. Same thing with the Triceratops, except she gets to keep her back. And I do like how when you transform it, these form into like a straight line of yellow. That does a good job of actually keeping it congruent. Now, in Japan this was called, I think, snapping combination for this reason. But basically what you need to do is, they tab into the elbow, I believe that would be, and connect not that bad, really. It's actually a pretty secure connection. And you can put the batteries in if you can get them. I don't know why they didn't give you all three. But if you get the batteries, you can keep them in there while you're doing this. So, yep. There we go. And flip up the head and put on the helmet. And give him his sword. Now, in Japan, this sword could open up, and it had two modes. First was, it was like this, only opened up, and it became a shield. Then you had like this, when all 5 Rangers were in the cockpit at the same time, and it was a sword. Don't know why they took that out. You can still pretend this is a shield, I think. Well, let me fold it the right way. I still think this makes a decent shield, but yeah, it's kind of a problem. It looks more like a club without being able to open up. And there you go. And we have our Dino Charge Megazord. And I really like it. It's actually a really cool design and really unique. We have not gotten a Megazord that really looks a lot like this. Now, yes, the, let me see. I believe it was Aberino / Dino Thunder Megazord, or Thundersaurus Megazord. Was very similar to the, in transformation concept, but even then, the T-Rex head has never really been asymmetrical. Like, we never have a, well, not never, but we rarely have a truly asymmetrical Megazord that is completely different on both sides. He looks symmetrical, but he's not. So, kind of cool. Zord Builder ports, you can take off the arms. There's Zord Builder ports. Got one up here. Got those 2 on the legs I showed earlier. Sadly, you can't separate them at the knee. I don't know why. Here, I'll actually bring them closer so I can show off the new details. One of which is that head. And it's a really nice head. I do like the horns. I do think it looks really cool. Very well painted. Looks really nice. And I don't know if you can make it out, but there's like that teeth thing around the mouth. I love that. But yeah, it looks really nice from the front. But here's the issue. As you can tell, this is a black piece, this is a red piece. So why was there no Zord Builder port right here so you could swap them out at the knee? I really don't know why. It seems Zord Builder, they try to do well, but then they don't do well. I don't know why. But yeah, overall, pretty cool looking mecha. Articulation standard, and also this back piece here does not get in the way. So you can do, not 360, but close enough. Now here's the cool part though. And this is something very few Megazords actually have, and makes me wonder why there was not a Zord Builder port here too. But he actually has waist articulation. Not a ton, but if you take off the backpack, you can get a lot more. But he actually does have meaningful waist articulation. That is great. Yes, it's a byproduct of the transformation, but I'm not complaining. I like having waist articulation. Thank you, Hasbro. We don't get that a lot. Thank you. I do like having waist articulation. Not only we could have had other meaningful articulation. However, here's the weird part. And this is not for transformation because it does not need to go out this far for, to my knowledge, any of its combined modes. And I just unplugged that, be careful. Yeah, sorry, something came unplugged down there. He can actually do a full split. I don't know why. I know I just complained about getting more meaningful articulation, but I don't understand. Now, if you're better at balancing than me, oops. Yeah, you can knock the arms off. It's not a big of a deal. You can knock the arms off anything, and it still is fine. Now, if you are good enough at posing, you probably could get him into like a high kick pose, which would actually be pretty in character for this mecha. Like, this is an acrobatic mecha, so if you could actually get him into that pose, it would be nice. I just don't understand why. It kind of is weird. Like, you'd think that they wouldn't give that to you because Bandai has a habit of only giving you as much articulation as the transformation requires you to. But anyway, let's do a few size comparisons, then I'll close out. Here we have our legendary Megazord from the previous year. Same exact height. Zord Builder compatible between the two of them. If you have the Q-Rex, you can also swap in parts from the Q-Rex. Here's the Dino Megazord, which, funny enough, there actually are previews saying we're probably going to get the Kiryujin, Daizujin, and Abarino team-up we got in the Sentai in an American crossover, so that's awesome. And lastly, an old-school Megazord, the SPD Megazord, who's actually a little shorter. So yeah, pretty good-sized Megazord. And pretty wide, honestly. And actually, the plastic quality is really nice. I have absolutely no problems with most of this plastic. It's not floppy, it's not brittle. It's just really nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Would I recommend this thing? Yeah, if you can't get your hand on Kiryujin, yeah, definitely get this. Differences between this and the Japanese version: this is a completely new mold, different paint apps. The beast batteries don't go in all the way, and the bottom half is not painted, but if you're a painter, you probably can handle that yourself. The one major difference is on the Japanese version, this section of the leg right here would flip down to fill out the bottom of the leg. Kind of wish we'd gotten that, but it's not a necessity. So, yeah, would I recommend this? Definitely. If you don't have Kiryujin, this is a good substitute. And looks good, close enough to the on-screen model that I don't feel gypped off or that this is a bad product. And I think it has a improved plastic quality over a few of the past Megazords we've had. Legendary Megazord wasn't bad, but everyone knows the the Legacy Dino Megazord had some not as good as could be plastic. It wasn't terrible knockoff quality, but yeah, we've definitely got an improved plastic quality. And this feels like it had a good bit more effort put into it. So, would I recommend it? Yeah. If you want this, go out and get it. I believe the Gold Rangers Mecha is currently in stores, so you can go out and get that too if you want it. And they combine into something awesome. I currently don't own that, but I would like to. And yeah, I definitely give my recommendations. So this has been Godzilla Wolf 1. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. See you guys next time. Bye! I still don't have a catchphrase.